Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Wrestling with Randy on the True Stories Based on Fiction podcast / YouTube network.
Boom.
I'm Randy.
And I'm Evan, the third host. So today we are going to talk about a pay-per-view for the WWE that's just transpired last weekend as we record this. And that's WWE Extreme Rules 20... Haunted House... what was it called?
The Horror Show.
The Horror Show. Extreme
Horror
Rules.
Show.
At Extreme Rules, I think it was called. The Horror Show at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever they called it.
Right.
It was something.
Yeah. And we've been in the back of our heads trying to attempt to do a review for each of the pay-per-views. We haven't really done that because I know we missed the one from last month when Edge got re-injured.
Oh, the greatest show?
Yeah.
No, not the greatest show. The greatest wrestling match ever.
Which was like, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why the marketing team is doing like these subtitles that are before the actual title. These pre-titles.
I don't know.
It's kind of strange. And they're all corny.
Yeah. The show already has a name.
Yeah.
Like Extreme Rules. The Horror Show. Like, no, it's Extreme Rules 2020. Or you could just make a pay-per-view called The Horror Show.
Right.
I don't know if anybody's going to pay for it right now, but...
Yeah.
Other than the network.
To that point, do they still actually sell, like, the pay-per-views?
I believe they do. I know they still sell WrestleMania. You could buy, it was like $60 a night or something.
A night?
Yeah.
That's $120.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, but...
I'm sure people bought it instead of paying the $10 a month. For the fucking
right. Unless they had already gotten their free trial and said, $10, I already got my free trial. Forget that.
I'll pay $60 and watch it once.
Or $120 for both nights.
Yeah, or whatever it was. It was either $30 for each night or $60.
That's not as bad, but no one mentioned it was probably $60 a night. Yeah. But yep, so we're going to talk about Extreme Rules, the Horror Show at Extreme Rules 2020. So the first match was, I believe, wasn't it a women's match?
I got the if you go by if you look at the pre-show, Kevin Owens is on the pre-show.
Okay.
Against Murphy. Whatever.
Right.
Kevin Owens is on the pre-show. But I think the first match was, I thought it was a tag match. Tables match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship.
Yes. Yep, you're right.
New Day versus Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yep. So where we crown new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, because apparently Cesaro is a tag team specialist.
Anybody. Put him with anybody. It's a successful tag team.
It was a pretty good match because I like Cesaro a lot. If he's being goofy, I like him, or if he's being deadly serious, I like him. And same thing with Shinsuke as well.
Yeah. I'm a big Shinsuke fan. I watched his stuff in New Japan Wrestling. I liked his gimmick there. I like him here. I hope he sticks around.
I mean, and I think the main problem is they really can't figure out what to do with him because although they fired a lot of other people, there's still too many people who are good in the WWE system right now, and there's nothing to do with them all.
This is true. That's why he's in a tag team with Cesaro.
Exactly, because I feel like he's better solo.
I think he is too, but they put, WWE 101, you got two foreign guys, let's tag them together, and we'll make a team. Maybe a league, if you will.
And now that, like, their manager is gone, because of either COVID or because he said something he wasn't supposed to say.
Probably both.
Yeah. Because he's outspoken.
He just does. He hasn't shown up since he won at WrestleMania. He won the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania.
They got stripped of the belt.
Then got stripped of the belt. Never defended it. Never lost it. He's still the champion.
Who is the IC champ now? Styles?
AJ Styles.
Yeah. He's becoming like...
Just went on a rant about how he hated Paul Heyman.
Yep. How he hates Paul Heyman. And then I've also heard... Who said that he was racist?
CM Punk, I believe.
Yes, yep. Which I don't know if I believe.
He didn't say. Well, he said his stance on Black Lives Matter. His silence was deafening.
Okay, and
I think it was I think it was in a tweet. So
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, AJ is a Southern boy, and there's different types of racism. There's like I call it macro and micro racism. So I think on a micro level, if he's talking to any of his coworkers, he'll love them like brothers. But then on a macro level, like, you know what? I think all lives matter.
he's also a flat earther.
Yep. And
So, I mean,
I have AJ's same stance, honestly. I'm saying that it didn't sound so far fetched to me. Now, when the science gets applied to it, I'm like, okay, maybe I don't get it. But have you seen the curve?
I think I have. I'm taking
I
the
haven't seen
growth
the
up
curve.
pretty high. I mean, from NASA, but that just could be the media.
Yeah, exactly.
Fake
NASA
news.
and NASA is a film company. But okay, but back but back to the match. So you know, I can have a whole rant about the moon landing. Uh, um,
and tangent.
that match was a decent match. I do like the fact of how Kofi lost. He went through that table super hard.
Yeah, he did.
So that was pretty good. And then it seems like the New Day are always champions, and honestly, I get tired of them being champions all the time. Give the belts to somebody else. Give them something to do. And I know that he's slitting down the ladder so far since he lost the championship. It's not even funny.
Brock, yeah.
Not even
Yeah.
funny.
No, it went quick. I think Big E deserves an opportunity at a singles run.
Yeah, if Woods comes back, then like that could be possible. But I was watching a reaction video to a WWE, but I think her name is Dee Chanel, who is beautiful, by the way. Um, and she said it looks like Big E is moving in slow motion, and I kind of agree.
I mean, she's not wrong.
No, she's not wrong. And if I think the Big E's problem, right? Because the same problem he had in the clips that I've seen of him when he was with Dolph Ziggler. He isn't really a leading man type. I think he has to be like the muscle. Because although he can do the "Don't you dare be sour," I think if he had to actually be on the mic a lot, he wouldn't be as good unless he became a Heyman guy.
True.
He could be like a Brock Lesnar type. But him doing his own talking, I'm not sure that would work. But yeah, so that match was pretty decent. Then next, I think we had Bailey versus
Nikki.
Yeah, that match was.
It was Bailey versus Nikki. I mean,
Yeah.
it was about as much as you're gonna get from Bailey versus Nikki.
Yeah, I've never been like a Bailey fan. I like her heel character a little bit more than her weird ponytail from the '80s character, but I'm still not like a Bailey fan.
She's got a nose ring now.
Oh, which one? This one or like the one in the middle? Okay, yeah.
Side one.
The Tupac one.
Yes, she got the Tupac nose ring in now.
But I will say that if she had this one, I would probably like her because I don't care how the woman looks. If she has this nose ring, I'm in.
Isn't that how Ruby Riott? Doesn't she have that?
Yes, and I'm strangely attracted to Ruby Riott because she isn't what you call traditionally attractive.
That's
but
true.
Something about her I like a lot. Out of the whole Riot Squad, I find her the most attractive. Well, I don't find her the most attractive. I'm the most attracted to her. Because those are different things. Because obviously Liv Morgan is the most attractive.
Those are three totally different types of women in that Riot Squad.
That's true. And Sarah Logan can just, like, she's non-existent to me.
She's a Viking.
But she was in the Riot Squad, right?
She was.
Yeah.
But, like, her wedding was a Viking
wedding. I saw that. Yeah. medieval times from a cable guy.
Medieval times.
Yeah, but the Bailey, whatever her name match, that was a meh. Yeah, meh.
Yeah. You figured Bailey was going to win. Nikki Cross isn't going to be the one to take the belt from her.
Exactly. Because I like Nikki Cross a little bit better when she wasn't being like a insecure, super preppy sidekick to Alexa. I bet she was kind of like a wild card. Although it was corny, she kind of beating her chest, but it's better than what she's doing now. I'm Nikki. I'm going to be her sidekick.
Yeah, she was much better when she was part of Sanity.
Mm-hmm.
A little crazier. You didn't know what she was going to do.
So then, next, who do we have? Was next, I'm going to get that eye, Ray.
No, the U.S. title match was next.
Oh, the non-match.
The non-match where the MVP just took the title.
So, can that just happen?
Evidently. At least he's been walking around with a new title anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. Like, Apollo's still the real champ.
So they're probably going to do the good old angle, like the Ric Flair angle. Well, kind of like Ric Flair angle, to where he has a belt. And no, Shawn Michaels had done this too back in the day. Like when he lost the Smile, he still had the belt. And then when he came back, he had that belt. Then I think he fought Razor Ramon. Maybe my timeline's off. But somehow Razor was the champ and Shawn Michaels was the previous champ. And they both had belts.
Never lost it. They did the ladder match at WrestleMania.
Yes. I feel like this is going to be a build-up to that. Mainly because apparently Apollo Crews has COVID. So that's why.
Is that why?
Yep.
Makes sense.
That's what I've heard. Because otherwise, that whole segment made no sense. Because I just
heard he wasn't cleared to wrestle.
So that doesn't mean that you forfeit the belt because you aren't cleared to wrestle.
That's true.
That was really dumb.
So he's still the champ. And it looks like MVP is forming like a crew like you had in TNA. Lashley and now Shelton Benjamin's in there too.
Oh, so the Benjamin there?
Yeah, you joined him on Raw Monday because he's the new 24/7 champ.
And he needs something to do, basically.
Pretty much.
Because, yeah. He can still physically go, but I feel like they haven't done anything with him since he had blonde hair.
This is true.
What?
It's so true.
I'm surprised that he didn't get fired like everybody else.
Well, they originally brought him back when when SmackDown came back as like a separate show. And went live just because they needed more stars. But yeah, I don't know how he's been around. Maybe it's just because he's good friends with Brock. I don't know.
Could be, yeah. Because
he's great in the ring. Like he can teach the new guy stuff how to do it.
But yeah, because I feel like he was on the same level. I mean, like the Good Brothers had way more screen time than he did, but apparently they got let go because like they were getting vastly overpaid for what they were doing.
They were getting paid a lot. But they go from being part of the main event of WrestleMania, that Boneyard match.
Yeah.
They're cut.
Yep.
Kind of bullshit, but whatever.
But they were sidekicks, so like they were basically minis. So
they were part of the OC.
So like that was the equivalent of when Triple H fought Sting, and then like the NWO and DXR came out for like little spots. Yeah. Which is always a funny thing to me because so all the Triple H friends came out on opposite ends of the fight, and there are more Triple H's friends than they are Borden's friends.
This is true.
I always found that weird, but
they were trying to go since Sting was a member of the NWO,
right? I see what they were doing.
DX, but it was still they overbooked the shit out of that match.
Yeah,
but
I would rather they pull it out freaking Big Papa Pump or Virgil.
Oh God, I think they both burned their bridges.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Virgil is what, Mr. Fuck Money or whatever.
Yep. Who signing pictures of Ted DiBiase?
Junior or senior?
Both, probably. So that's going to bring up a tangent. I saw a couple of matches of Ted DiBiase Jr. How does the apple fall so far from the tree? He has no charisma. His dad oozed charisma, and he had none.
Good none. He got none of it.
It's astounding how he was so bad.
He tried multiple times too. They had the group of Cody and Orton, and then tried to make him the $1 Million champion, and it just didn't.
No,
nothing worked out for him. Wasn't he in one of the movies though too?
He was in the Marine 17, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
Before the Miz took over, so I think
took over for 20,
I think 2. Yeah. So probably number 2 then.
Yeah.
All right. So then next on the card we had who?
Ray and Seth.
I'm gonna get that Ray.
God. I get setting it up and everything, but you're not gonna be able to deliver on that.
All right.
And the part at the end where like Seth is legit like trying to throw up because of the damage he did to Ray, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They tried. I'll give him that. Like they put Ray's eye against a step, and they could easily have fucked him up. But
that's actually a good point. It is good that the fact that there's so much of professionals that they're able to do that spot and make it look quasi real.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Because both times it worked, because I wonder how did they pull that off. Obviously, like as a fancy camera angles.
Yeah, it made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like watching it, and that's what it was supposed to do. Because a match like that, there's no way you're gonna pay that off.
Right.
And he actually loses an eye, other than like spraying him in the face or something. But they made it look like he actually lost his eye, which I gotta give it to him.
Unless, the thing is, like Ray has had a storied career at this point. He's been wrestling since we were kids.
Yeah.
But I feel like physically, in terms of like his physique and moveset, he can still do it. But his booking is so terrible. And then I feel like he gets hurt every 2 weeks.
Like when he died?
Yeah, exactly. When he died and he came back. Rey Mysterio, a.k.a. Jesus.
Yep.
His bookings is so bad.
No, and I don't know if it's just because of his moveset that he's booked that way, or I don't know. I heard his contract was up and he was working without a contract.
Yeah. But. And they keep trying to shove Dominic down our throats.
Is he even signed? Like,
I don't know.
Is he even trained to wrestle?
I've heard he's been training, but come on, bro. Nobody's going to care about Rey Mysterio's son, Dominic. Because what is he going to do? Put on a mask now? That we've seen him grow up over the last 25 years?
Any other masked wrestler that WWE brings in, they immediately remove his mask.
Yep.
Andrade used to have a mask.
Did he? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Before he came to WWE. Huh. The guy they just signed El Fantasmo, whatever, and down at NXT now is just Santos Escobar. Because after he won the title, he took off his mask and just changed his name.
Sami Zayn.
El Generico. Doesn't matter. If he ever goes back to the Indies, he still has a character that WWE doesn't know.
That's true. Unlike Heath Slater, who's only Heath now. He's like, I can't say Slater.
Just Heath.
I'm just Heath, man. I'm a
free agent.
So a sidebar.
The same gimmick you had before.
Yes. So sidebar about that. So Heath Slater, I feel like he was suicidal, and then I'm glad that he got a job. He was looking really sad on like social medias. He was looking downtrodden. Yeah. But then, why are they booking him so pitifully?
On Impact?
Yeah. He's a loser, basically.
Well, that's always been his gimmick.
Oh, I guess so then.
He's always been the lovable loser. Along with Rhino.
Rhino is a lovable loser, but Heath Slater is just a loser. I feel like he grabbed the mic to no crowd because like there aren't any crowd. Like it, he gave his speech, and then like he tries to get in the locker room. Like, sorry, sir, you're on the list. Like, I'm gonna call my friend Rhino. Then Rhino didn't pick up the phone, so he can't even. So he worked for the WWE for 10 years. So in storyline, right? I'm saying so.
Yeah.
He goes to a different wrestling company, and they don't even recognize him. How crazy is that? Are you on the list, sir? I'm Heath. I can't say Slater anymore. I got kids.
Just Heath.
It's crazy.
Did you see the picture of all the guys they signed giving the finger?
Mm-hmm. Pretty good. I'm also.
Well, they did sign Brian Myers. I saw the little picture yesterday.
Yeah.
Or the little video.
I'm interested to see how he's booked and what his character is going to be. He's going to be like a baseball-loving character.
Could be.
Because he loves his baseball. But I like his tweet where he was like, at a Vince McMahon, I'm sorry, I love you. Super kick.
So he's going to come back to Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair.
Yeah. Because that was a funny scene. I love you. I'm sorry.
I love you. Super kick.
All right, but back to the pay-per-view.
Versus Sasha Banks.
That match was better, but it went on way too long.
Yeah.
I felt
Then they did the Dusty finish, where it was just a screw-off thing.
Mm-hmm. But from what I hear on Raw, they re-solidified it, though, so she definitely is champion, right?
Sasha or Asuka?
Banks.
They said that she has the belt, but she's not the champ. So they're going to have
All right. Well, I hope that Sasha does win because what I think they could do here is a 2-woman power trip. Like, I'm sorry. The Mega Powers. Like Randy and Hulk. Yeah. And I kind of don't want their tag team to implode. I think now that Banks has a belt or is going to have a belt too, that kind of stabilizes like their tension. Because I do like them together, but I don't like them trying to have like the seeds of them coming apart. But I only like them together if they both have all the female belts.
They have all the belts together. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Because tag titles they can defend separately. If they both had like if Bayley had the Raw and SmackDown title like together, that's kind of bullcrap because you really gotta. You're defending both at the same time. But since it is the tag belt and not a singles belt, I kind of dig that.
Yep, I agree. So sidebar, but this is actually kind of on topic though. So Charlotte Flair had to leave because she has problems like with her breast implants. Did she drop the belt beforehand?
Charlotte?
Yeah.
The NXT belt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Io Shirai is the champion.
Okay. She's pretty good, from what I've seen. Also, sidebar, I like the Keith Lee is a champ now. Is he still double champ then?
He's double champ, but they just announced last night that they're going to do a ladder match for the North American title.
Okay.
So he doesn't have to defend both of them. So they're just basically taking the North American title away from him, and somebody else will get it.
Yeah, because that's odd to book him losing the lesser belt has a higher belt.
You book yourself into a corner that way.
Exactly. So like him giving that belt up is pretty cool. Now, when did Keith Lee even come to NXT? I feel like he came out of nowhere.
He's maybe been there a year and a half to 2 years. He was one of the guys that when they first signed, they had him show up in the crowd at a takeover, and then suddenly he's kicking ass. I think he's always like been on NXT on and off, basically just in matches, but didn't have like too many big feuds.
Mm-hmm.
But then that the Survivor Series match really set him up nice.
Yeah, it did.
along with his position in the Royal Rumble. I
Yep.
think he was going up against Brock. Even Brock looked like kind of made him feel like it was a legit thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see a Roman Reigns versus Keith Lee match down the line sometime. Just
Why?
singles match.
Wow.
Just because of the Survivor Series match. Reigns knocked him out.
Oh yeah. Okay. Because I was thinking, why would anyone want to see a Roman Reigns match
I'd
ever?
like to see Roman Reigns come back and at least do like I think Roman Reigns can go in the ring. I
Do
think
you?
he's become the John Cena where it's just same.
Yeah.
Like have him cut that fucking hair.
Yep.
Give him a new look. Turn him
Yep.
heel or something. I
Yep.
mean, but everybody said the same thing about John Cena. But you want your character to grow. You don't want him to just stay the same person.
Exactly. Because the other two members of the Shield grew a lot,
Yep.
but he's been in his homeostasis for his whole 10 years there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you had John Moxley or Dean Ambrose, whatever.
Mhm.
He went back and forth between heel and face. Same thing with Seth. Seth has gone back. Seth was a much better heel than he is face.
Yep.
But
Because Seth is actually his Monday Night Messiah persona is actually pretty good.
mm-hmm.
I'm still not happy with his booking per se, and his cult members. Now, sidebar: are the authors of Pain gone?
I don't know what's going on with them. Either they were because they kind of disappeared when the COVID thing happened, right?
Yeah,
So I don't know
I
if
feel
they've
like
just not been around.
because you can't
But
have a
the
cult.
problem is a lot of the wrestlers they had were not those guys, but a lot of them were coming from overseas,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't come from overseas right now.
Right.
Or who freaking wants to come to America right now?
Nobody.
But
Because with Self, like you can't have a cult with one person.
no, yeah, he's just got Murphy right now, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
And
What?
and like
Is that Austin Theory with them now too?
I think he was for a while, but I also haven't seen him in a while.
No, me neither.
Okay, so next on the lineup, who do we have after the
It was
thing?
the WWE Championship match. Drew and Dolph.
Oh, because of what they're doing lately, which I appreciate. They're having pretty short pay-per-views, not these 17-hour marathons. They're doing all like no filler matches,
Which is
basically.
fine.
Yeah, I'm
Because
totally cool.
I don't know if they have enough wrestlers to do filler matches right now
That's a good point too. Yeah,
with
that's a good
everything
point.
going on. They get some NXT guys on there, but
That match I think had a good story to it, a good build up because when Drew came back, he was basically Dolph Ziggler's big, so that it had a good history there. And I like how Drew was going through basically like his whole career because he had Heath. Now he got.
yeah. Keith, did Jinder come out and talk to him?
I feel like they're kind of
I
building
feel
to
like they
that.
had an interaction. I feel like they had an interaction or something at some point because Jinder came back.
Yeah.
At least he was there for like a week. I haven't been watching as much,
Mm-hmm.
but I know Jinder was back after Drew won. Because you get all of 3MB back together.
Right. But not at all. But that match was pretty good, especially towards the end, because I think that didn't Dolph do like an elbow on Drew through a table, and that
Yep.
was a perfect,
Perfect
the best one I've seen in
Yep.
years. That was beautiful.
Yep.
That match went on for.
Dolph can still go when he's motivated.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like Dolph doesn't really. I feel like that his lack of motivation is based off his lack of a push.
I
Because
think so too.
Dolph is still. He seems relatively young. He has a good persona.
Mm-hmm.
He has the charisma. He has the move set, but for whatever reason, I feel like they never really pushed him that hard. I feel like he's more of a people's champion. The people have always liked him, but they never have actually pushed him hard. I feel like.
Yeah. They teamed him up with Vicky Guerrero, and
Yep.
he had the world title for like a week.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah. And then they teamed up with AJ Lee after that.
And Big E.
Yeah.
And then he had a little entanglement with Sonny
Yeah.
in real life. Only because I think that as a kid he wanted to bang her. So he said, "This adult, although she's ugly and coked out, childhood dream.
Okay.
So I gotta do it."
He was also, what was that comedian? Amy Schumer. He was also with her for a while.
Oh, so he just likes fat blondes then.
That's what he's into.
Hey, to each their own. Like he is from Hollywood, Florida. So
One of the Hollywoods.
So that tells you something. But so that match went on for a little bit too long, in my opinion. But the last couple of segments of it were actually really good. It built up, but it was way too long. Because Drew to me is a terrible champion. Because I hate him trying to be Hulk Hogan. He's so corny to me. I feel like he's always gonna tell me to say my prayers and eat my vitamins.
One step away, but with a Scottish accent.
Exactly. And I still don't get how he went from a heel to a super baby face. Like not even like a tweener like a Stone Cold. But he's a super baby face now.
It was just beating Brock. I mean, that's what.
That's dumb.
Goldberg beat Brock, though.
Yeah. I mean, but he should be the Scottish psychopath. His move is called the Claymore. But then he's being super. You can do anything you believe in yourself. Shut up, bro. I'm not buying it.
What am I? It's a freaking sword to the throat.
Exactly. I may be a psycho, but I'm psycho. I'm psycho about vitamins.
And like he always astonishes me with how big he actually is. Like he doesn't look
huge.
like a big dude, but he's huge.
Yeah.
I know I've talked about it before, but that dude is actually huge.
Yeah. I saw him when he came to Saginaw. The last time that they came to Saginaw, and yeah, like he's a huge dude.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a good match. But like I said, I think he went on a little bit too long, and it was a very slow start. But like once he got it going, and like last couple of segments, it actually turned out to be pretty well.
Yep. And then we come to the cinematic match of the night.
Yep.
The Wyatt Swamp Fight. With
Yep.
Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. I mean,
Trash. Yep.
It went through their history. It went through Braun's history. I liked having Alexa Bliss there because they were partners on the Mixed Match Challenge, which was a Facebook-only show.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, Mixed Match Challenge was a Facebook-only show, Facebook Watch-only show, where it was live every Tuesday night when they had teams, like a tournament. And I want to say they might have won or came close. No, they came close. And it was Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss, Team Little Big.
Mm-hmm. And kind of on some what they want they type stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was always like, was she going to kiss him or not?
Because that's back when he had first gotten out of that cult, and like he was still kind of dumb, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he was playing like the big dumb dude. And then they always had them like together, like hanging out and stuff. But kind of like the Mandy Rose and
Otis. Yep. So when did Bray start being like the old Bray Wyatt again?
After Braun beat him last time.
Okay.
And he didn't bring out the Fiend. He just beat him as Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. After that, he decided, he's like, you know what? Everybody's going to expect me to come out as the Fiend and, come out and beat him. But he turned it the other direction and went old school Bray Wyatt, Swamp Bray. And they had their Swamp match.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know. Have you ever watched any of the Ultimate Deletions with Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy?
I know, like I haven't.
Those were like the Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, the guys that came up with the cinematic match, essentially.
Really? Okay.
If you go back and watch any of the deletions, it's them at Matt's house or Jeff's house, whoever's house, and basically just doing the same kind of shit that Bray and Braun did. But they did like fireworks. They shot fireworks at each other and stupid shit. But essentially the same kind of match that just happened there.
But not as good. I mean, but obviously this one wasn't as good.
No, I mean they do more camera stuff, and the Freddy versus Jason undertone to it was kind of.
It did kind of have that, yeah. The Bliss part was kind of good because I heard that there was also a rumor that she was going to be like the embodiment of Sister Abigail as well.
Yeah.
So like that was pretty good. But that's honestly about it. I kind of wish that they would stop doing those matches because the only one that was really good to me was the Boneyard match, and then the Money in the Bank was decent.
Yeah.
But like now this isn't as bad as like the John Cena one.
No.
That was terrible.
No, the John Cena one was awful. I think this was better than the John Cena one.
Yeah, but this is
by far.
Still wasn't good.
No, it could have been better.
It could have been a lot better because honestly, there were a lot of times in that match that I found myself just being on my phone because I was so bored.
Yeah. Because they weren't really telling much of a story.
Yeah, exactly. But so overall, this was probably a middle of the road show for me. If you had to give it a drunk Ironman rating, what would you give it?
I'd probably give it a 4.5 or a 5.
Out of 10?
Yeah. Not out of 5.
I would probably give it a 6.5 or a 7.
6.5, 7.
Yeah, and a lot of that higher score is due to the fact that it was so truncated and like concise as opposed to having these super long pay-per-view. Because I think it started at 7 and like it was done by like 8:30 or something like that.
It felt like it. I think it was almost done by. It started at 7. I want to say it was done by like 9:30. I think
it probably that's probably like more accurate
because I know it ended before 10.
Definitely ended before 10
because I know they had the Undertaker's
last ride
story time or whatever.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
But
okay,
by Hitman.
Yep.
But so that's going to be our episode this time around. We'll be back next week with some more content for you. Be sure to check out the YouTube channel that you're watching now for our other videos. Like, subscribe, and comment. Also, check out the podcast network. Found anywhere you can find a podcast to search for true stories based on fiction. We've got some cool content coming for you there. Anything else, man?
No, that's it.
All right. Sounds good. And we are out this piece.
I gotta do that. Freeze.